All right, guys, we're gonna have our weekly class today. Again, just remind everybody to subscribe, like, share the videos, and get the word out there. The reason is because you can learn a lot of Torah and know a lot of individual details. But if someone doesn't string them together for you and paint for you a picture, right, you'll just get more and more confused. The more details you add, the more and more confused you'll be. So you need to learn from the holy books that have the information arranged in a certain way so you can, let's say, for lack of a better word, eat it, properly. Okay, they arrange like a meal for you, right? So getting a lot of tidbits is just going to confuse you. Wanted to, before we get started, again, everybody goes to the first class and see first things first, because then you'll understand like the framework that we're working with, right? God created the world, right? God's name is the Ein Sof, the one that has no end, no border. He created it for a purpose. The purpose is to have man fight his evil inclination. So he put a body and a soul together, and to give man good for fighting his evil inclination. Okay, where's that good? That good is in the next world. Okay, we're approaching the next world. We're in the year 5780. The next world's going to start at the year 6000. Okay, so it's getting closer and closer. That's the basis of everything, but there's a lot more, obviously, and we made classes about that. Another thing that is crucial to remember is that Torah isn't tips for people's lives. Some people think like, oh, let me go there and, learn a few things and learn a few tips and get them to better live. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God I can hear. Okay? So a lot of people think that because a lot of people think that they'll just come and hear a Torah class, get a few tidbits of information, and go live their life as they please, right? And it's a bunch of tips, I could take some of the tips, I cannot take some of the tips, okay? But if you really dig deep, the Torah is not full of tips at all. The Torah is directing your life, right? God made a spiritual world and a physical, and he clothed it with a physical world, and he's basically telling you this is the way it runs. You can get with the program or not get with the program. But if you think you're going to live your life and, maybe hear a few tips here, a few tips there, I'll take a few tips from the Torah, I'll take a few tips from life, from technology, from all that stuff, you're going to get a big mess in your head. Okay? You have to get with the plan to really understand the plan, to really live it, to really enjoy it. Okay? That way you don't have any questions about anything. Okay? People who have questions, people who don't understand things, is because they don't have a complete picture in their mind. And they're trying to reconcile facts and details with what people tell them is the real picture. So they have facts on one side and a picture painted for them, but they don't really accept this picture. Okay? And they try to bring these facts into the picture. Or, even worse, they have what they think life is, sort of a blurry picture, and they try to take these facts and plug it into the picture, okay? And it'll never work, okay? So last week we started learning about a person's character traits, because we said a person is built of the 10 channels, right? The 3 are in their head and 7 are in their body, okay? And the head controls the body. So what's going on in your head, what you think, what you believe, will run your life. It'll dictate your life. Right? It'll dictate your body, it'll dictate your actions and everything like that. So you have to learn the correct things, okay? We said that running towards the physical and the bad character traits is the negative inclination, and running towards good character traits and the intellectual is towards the good inclination, okay? And that's what we want to do. So in order to do that, we started learning a book called Orchot Tzadikim. Orchot Tzadikim is the way of the Tzadikim, okay? We can all learn different tidbits of certain character traits, and we know that they're bad or we know they're good, but we don't really know how to apply them. So this book comes and shows us how to apply the little tidbits information that we know into our daily lives, incorporated. Last week we started with the gate of pride. We're going to continue that, okay? Just for a lack of for simplicity reasons, we're going to try to read the Hebrew, and then I'll translate to English as opposed to reading the English, because sometimes things don't sound as they're translated. Okay, so we'll start off right now. הגאווה מביאה לידי רדיפת כבוד. A person who has pride, right, is going to start running after getting honor from other people. להסתרר על בני אדם. Okay, in order to be above everybody else. Okay, that's their whole purpose. Okay, וכבר ידעת מה אירע לקורח ועדתו מחמת גאוותו. And you already know what happened to Korach and his congregation because he had pride. What's the story of Korach? Korach was of the Levi tribe, and he wanted a different position other than what God told Moshe to give to Korach. Okay, he thought Moshe was making things up by himself. Real simplicity stuff, not getting into too deep. And so he wanted a different position. He said, this position doesn't fit, who I'm supposed to be, my vision of myself. And so he fought Moshe, and he fought him all the way till he died. Okay? His it says redifat after gava, like running after the pride, after getting honor for himself, causes eventual downfall. When a person doesn't accept their lot, doesn't accept like their position in life, they think, God made a mistake. Okay, then they start, having dreams and fantasies of things that don't befit them. It eventually leads to a person's downfall. Right? The Torah tells us a story, but it's not really a story. God's telling us this is the fabric of creation. This is what's going to happen. Okay? שביקש להתגדל וליקח גדולה שלא ניתנה לו מן השמיים. Right? He tried to get higher, more than what was given to him from heaven. ומתוך כך נכנס למחלוקת. Okay? And this caused him to get into an argument and a controversy, right? With Moshe Rabbeinu. ומן המחלוקת יצא קנאה ושנאה. What happened when you start fighting with somebody? You start getting jealous of them, right? And you start hating them. Okay, why does this person have that? Why does this person have this? Right? And you start hating the person, okay, for no reason, right? But if you realize God gave every single person exactly what they have, you'll never come to jealousy. You'll never come to anger. You never come to that. But if you believe things happen, like everything that I have is because I worked for it, it's because I strive for it, it's because I did it, right? And the whole world, this is right now, the secular world that's what they're telling you. The harder you work, the more you'll achieve, the better things will be, and just keep pushing. Okay, but they don't realize that no, there's a goal to life. Okay, and if you realize that God is the Ein Sof, you think you're pushing yourself, okay? But God's really pushing you, okay? And you're being used. You're being used by God. If you really think about it, you're being used by God to prove a point, okay? And the point may not come today. It may come in 52 years, okay? As in the case of Sodom and Amorah. Sodom and Amorah, they were evil cities. They did real bad things, okay? And God didn't punish them right away. He let them rise up and be very successful and be wicked and successful and wicked and successful and wicked until the eventual downfall came. Okay? So we can either get with the program early or wait till it smacks us in the face. But it smacks everybody in the face. Okay? There was a ruler of Rome. His name was Titus. Okay? Titus. Right? Titus the Great. So he conquered Israel. He destroyed Jerusalem, and he went into the temple, and he did some very nasty things, and he started screaming, and he says, I conquered God in his own house. Okay, that's what he said, right? And seemingly, if you look, and you if there was a news broadcast over there, we'd be like, wow, look what's happening, really, Titus beat God, right? He won, right? Titus won, God 0. Okay, but what really happened? Titus gets on his boat with all the treasures and everything they ransacked, and God starts with the waves. Okay, the waves start was capsizing the boat, and Titus, what did Titus say? Instead of like thinking, oh no, God's controlling nature, he said, oh, I see their God only has power in water. Right? He drowned the Egyptians. He brought a flood to the world. Right? He only has power. He's only strong in water. So God got mad at him. He said, you know what? I'm going to get you with the smallest creature I have. Okay? So he caused a little gnat to fly up his nose, flew up his nose, starting eating his head. Okay? Starting eating his brain little by little. When Titus gets off the boat and he starts having a headache. He doesn't know why he's having a headache. Okay, he starts hearing some guy smacking a hammer. He hears the guy smacking the hammer. It calms his headache, so he starts paying him. After a while, he's like, "Why am I paying him? I'm gonna have a Jew do it." Okay, so he brings a Jew do it, and the Jew's like, "Well, pay me." He says, "No, I'm not paying you. You're seeing me suffer. It's enough for you to see me suffer than for me to pay you." So he made the Jew work hard. Anyway, the pain got so unbearable that he died. Eventually, he died. They cracked open his head to see what was going on, and they found it wasn't a gnat anymore. It was the size of a bird. Okay, it ate his whole brain completely. Okay, so, but if we were looking from the outside, look at this guy. He's a ruler. He comes over to Israel. He takes over a mighty nation, destroys God, starts building himself up as so great and everything like that. And God brings the smallest thing in the world to just boom, pop his bubble. Right? So a person can get with the program early, as we're doing now, we're starting to learn, or they can just wait till it smacks them in the face. But it's eventually going to smack them in the face. It smacks everybody in the face. Where's Kobe's grandeur and all his money and his helicopter and his, commercials and his money? It's gone, right? Just like that, boom, snap, gone, right? He was living the life. People were jealous of him, people were trying to be like him, trying to learn from him, right? Copy his quote Mamba mentality, right? Everybody, and then where? And then in 1 second, one Sunday morning, boom, we don't see him anymore. Okay? So what we're trying to do is get with the program early so we don't have to be smacked with it late. Okay? So for kol elu midot pchutot meod. All these character traits are very lowly. We think they're great because everybody gives respect to people who in power and everything like that, but it's very lowly to be prideful. כאשר יתבהר בעזרת השם, we're gonna see it. סוף דבר, כל המקשט גופו כדי להתגאות. Anybody who adorns their body in order to look good, okay? But not to look good just for the sake of looking good and presentable. It's to show off themselves, right? Show off their body, show off their money, show off their clothes, show off their tastes, whatever it is. הרי זה שוכח את השם ברוך הוא. This person forgets God. Okay, this happens sometimes. People go to bar mitzvahs and weddings and all that stuff, and they want to look good, but sometimes that line is blurry. They try to look too good. Okay, and from what I heard is women compete with each other to see who looks better. Okay, and looking for each other's approval more than they are of the men. Okay, so this person forgets God. Okay, he sees their body, he sees their clothes, he sees their thing. And where's God? It's somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to do a mitzvah. It's a bar mitzvah. It's a wedding. It's a bris. I'm going to do that, but that's like in the back of their head, okay? ולא יחוש על המצוות, ולא ירדוף אחר מעשים טובים. You don't care about the mitzvahs, and you won't start running after good deeds, right? As I told people today in the group, you're going to a bar mitzvah, have in mind that the present that you give is a chesed. It's a kindness that you're giving to the other person. That way, your presence over there becomes a mitzvah. It becomes a commandment. It draws down holiness to the world. It draws down goodness to the world. Otherwise, just going to a party, okay, spending a few hours over there and doing what? Okay. There's a story of Rav Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, that he used to go places and until people get their act together, like a class or something, they're organizing. He would have a book underneath the table. And the time that they're wasting, getting the seats and arranging this and arranging that and talking, in between them, he would learn as much as he could in the meantime.
Oh
okay? Okay? Not everybody can be like that, but think about it. You see, you put everything in the right perspective. It's amazing.
Yeah, I had somebody like that. He used to go to a store, a jewelry store in New York, and then by waiting for me to finish with the customer, he will open right with the
Oh, yeah.
study.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I'm like, I'm ready. Sure? Okay, because Tell me when you're ready because he
didn't wanna waste time.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you go to Israel, you see people on the bus. I used to do this myself. You know, bus rides could be an hour long, 2 hours, and everything like that. Grab a book and boom, just go through it. You see a lot of very righteous people trying to, and accomplishing. You learn a lot. When you have your own car, you don't learn as much. Okay. כי כל כוונתו על עצמו. The person's whole intention is on himself, right? Like, how am I going to look? How's my hair? How's my clothing? How, what are people going to think? I wore this yesterday. I didn't wear this. I wore this to the last bar mitzvah. They're going to see me again.
Yeah.
They're going to think I have no clothes. They're just thinking about themselves, right? לקשט גופו הקלה, right? To adorn their body that's anyway going to go on waste, right? As every day that moves forward, we're getting older. Our body's going down. It's not going up. As much as you take care of your body, it's a losing proposition, right? It's great you want to lift weights and adorn yourself and all the massages and all the creams and all that stuff. At the end of the day, boom, it's gone. Even Kirk Douglas, he looks great, but at 103, you gotta go. You gotta leave this world, right? Eventually, right? But then when you go down into the ground, very scary. I'm going to scare you a little bit because, it's part of life, right? People go to scary movies, right? You don't have to go to scary movies. Just think about death. Go to a gravesite. Just think, they're going to dig up this dirt. I'm going to be down there alone, in dirt, covered in dirt. And I'm going to have feeling down there. It's not, people think just the body's dead and that's it. There's nothing. It's like, I finished my coffee, right? And, it's just a cup. It's just totally not. There's still feeling in the body.
How long?
Okay.
Just feeling, sir?
And forever.
What? What do you mean forever?
Until you wake up in Tchiat HaMetim. Yeah, of course.
So my father have feeling?
Yes. What do you think? We go visit people in their grave sites. What are we doing? They're there. They're in the grave. Okay? Not the full soul, but a piece of it is there.
Yeah. But they have feeling?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So you feel when they eat you?
Exactly. Now you're talking. You feel exactly. You feel when the worms come and eat your body. And the Gemara says it hurts so much, okay? It's like needle pain. It's like needle pain.
That's
okay?
why.
Like needle into your.
That's why when you die and you're really skinny, my mom always said when you're skinny, that means you're not going to suffer a lot. When you die fat, you're going to suffer more.
Yes, exactly. Marbe basar, marbe tolaim. Person who has a lot of fat on them, but they have fat because they ate a lot, right? Obviously, it's not genetic. So they're going to have a lot of worms come and eat that. So
you better go to Wet Watcher. No, that's why they used to say that.
Sorry, guys. I got to tell the truth. And it's the truth, right? The truth. It's better to know the truth than be surprised and smacked by it at the end. Okay, but yeah, it's very painful. It's like someone putting a needle into your arm.
So it's scary,
right? Yeah, of course it's scary. So now I'm going to help you guys out. You guys want to prepare for it? I can make it. I can make it when you go there. You won't get eaten.
Really?
Yes. You guys listening? You want to get there and not get eaten, or do you want to have side conversation and cry about it? Okay. No. Listen, I'll tell you what to do. You get away from it. Okay. If you're a man, learn Torah. The Torah keeps a person, okay? The more he's a tzaddik, obviously keep the Torah, but learn Torah, and because a person learns Torah, the worms don't have jurisdiction over him, okay? And if you're not a Torah scholar or a woman, okay, work on your jealousy, okay? Because there's a person who doesn't have jealousy of somebody else, the worms don't have permission to come and get them.
Not to be jealous.
Yes, no jealousy. Cut jealousy off.
And you don't get, and you're not gonna even eat. You're not gonna feel the pain.
Yes. They don't have jurisdiction to come eat your body.
That's good to know. That's good to know. If you start now, it's okay. The jealousy, if you start to be not jealous anymore, just
yeah,
say.
of course.
That's a good one. See,
I heard somewhere that
I'm not a jealous person.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, women shouldn't go to the cemetery. Men too shouldn't
why
go.
is that? I want to know.
Men too shouldn't go because in the cemetery there's evil
Well,
spirits.
yeah.
Okay, there's evil spirits. In fact, so much so that when we leave the cemetery, we wash our hands.
Right,
Yes.
right,
Okay?
right.
So why do we wash our hands? Because in there is a lot of bad spirits.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens when a person goes in there? They try to take their holiness. It's kind of like similar to a person going to the bathroom, right? Going into a dirty place. So they try to take his holiness.
Did you do
Okay,
this?
yeah, they try to steal their holiness.
Yes.
So in women, it's much more because women come from the side. Remember our chart, right? The last of the sfirot, the last of the channels, right? It's malchut. It's the closest to them. It's the closest to the evil spirits, so they can grab onto her much more easier than onto
so
a man.
you don't enter at all the cemetery?
It's better not to,
Yeah.
okay? Unless you're going for obviously a funeral, or you know, now it says in the
But it's
Torah
a
that
mitzvah
that the bodies of
It's mitzvah,
tzaddikim,
right?
no,
It's a mitzvah to go to a funeral.
the funeral, yes, okay, but the grave sites of tzaddikim, okay, people who are very righteous. The Gemara says that they don't have tuma.
Oh.
Okay, the Torah says that they don't have tuma.
So you
So you can
take
go to righteous
Gracious
people's
people, yeah.
righteous people's grave sites, especially if they're not in the middle of a cemetery. Okay, like Rabbi Akiva is buried alone. Okay, they're not in the middle of a cemetery. I'll give you just an example. When you go in the middle of if they're buried alone, it's much better than if they're in a cemetery and you have to walk
Lubavitch is a
through
problem.
and get there.
Lubavitch is a problem.
Okay?
In the middle of the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah, Lubavitch.
Right.
It's a problem.
Okay. והמקשט גופו הוא קרוב לזימה. A person who adorns himself is close to licentiousness, right? Like, meaning, wrongdoings between men and women.
What?
Okay, yeah.
What do you mean?
כי יתראה לפני נשים להיסחן ביניהם. Okay? Like a guy who gets dressed nicely, right? He's going to be amongst women. And, he wants to have grace in their eyes. Okay? Why is he getting dressed all nice? If it was just guys don't get dressed up for other guys. Okay? Let's put a stop to that right now. Okay? Guys, if they could, they would wear jeans and a sweatshirt every day. Okay? Every single day. Okay? They get dressed up to try to look good, be presentable for certain reasons. Now, obviously, we're not talking about in the workforce, you're in business and that kind of that. You have business meetings, you shake hands, you're going to look presentable. It's another story. But I'm saying in average daily life, guys don't get dressed up, okay? ומתוך כך יתקרב אצלן ויבוא לידי שחוק וקלות ראש. Okay, he'll get close to them and, start laughing it up and start acting a little loose, and then looseness leads to bad things. Okay? וגם האישה מתקששת לפני האנשים. Also a woman who dresses up in front of guys. Okay? בזה היא מדלקת ליבם ומכנסת הרהור בליבם. Okay? In this, she fires up their hearts. And she starts getting thoughts in the guy's head. Okay? ובזה עונשה גדול מאוד. And for this, she gets punished a lot.
What about like
She gets greatly
not
punished.
married
Really?
women?
No, can't do it.
Even not married women?
Yes,
So
even
how
not
is she
married
gonna
women.
find a husband?
Doesn't matter. So she has to turn on a guy so much that she finds a husband? No, it doesn't work like that. Okay?
Shidduch.
No, she dresses properly and cleanly, and that's it. She doesn't have to dress provocatively in order to turn
provocative,
a. We're talking about people who dress
Nice.
provocatively.
So
Provocatively.
yes.
What one person
so-
thinks is nice, another person thinks is provocative, right? You have to use good judgment. Okay, am I covered up? Am I showing my bodily features? What am I really doing? Okay.
So if somebody is provocative, like, dresses up, very not proper for years and years and years, and nothing, and they're fine, everything's perfectly fine. So that means in another world they'll be punished.
Oh yeah. It's not. If God likes them, they'll punish them in this world. If God doesn't like them, he'll wait till and like and not like. We're again, I'm using like
Like in a way that
like cheap words, but really, yeah.
I feel like
the more God likes a person, the more suffering he'll bring on to them in order to clean them and purify them for the next world.
I think
Okay.
God loves me.
We're all in the same boat, mommy.
Love me too.
He
We're
loves
all in
me.
the same boat.
He loves us.
He loves us.
A big
He
big
does, really. He
a
loves
big
us very
misconception.
much.
A big
He's with-
misconception
he's
is
all
that
the time with me.
is that a big misconception is that if people come closer to God, they'll have a better life.
It's not true.
Okay, it's painted sometimes that way. Okay, but it's in reality, it's not really like that. The closer you get, you have to be cleansed for what
Just
you were.
problem is,
Okay, and the closer you get
And
to
I noticed
light,
that too.
the closer you get to light, the more you need to be clean to come closer to that light. So God loves you, yes, He wants to bring you closer, but you have to be clean when you come. Okay, so He'll bring suffering onto that person. And we said in many of our classes, the suffering could be on a person's body, their soul, their
Yes.
possessions. Okay,
Yes.
people don't really talk about this so much, but I'll say because it's being recorded, converts have this times 100. Okay, the Torah says there's a mitzvah to love every Jew, there's a mitzvah to love every convert. Okay, it talks very well about the converts, but the Gemara says that God gives them a hard life after they convert. Okay, because God wants them clean to the next world. Okay, it lists about six reasons, and it's basically on that theme. He wants them clean, and because they were, their whole life eating certain things and doing certain things that they were permitted, but when you start coming closer to the light, closer to the holiness, you have to be cleansed more and more for it. Okay, so obviously we want to hang around tzaddikim and be around righteous people. The more we are around them, the cleaner our actions will be, and then going forward, after the initial cleanliness had to happen, we can move forward with, a more relaxed condition. Okay? For this, she gets punished a lot. She puts a stumbling block in front of other people. A lot of people have a big mistake. They think, oh, well, it's not my fault. It's his problem for looking. Okay? That's the wrong misconception. The Torah doesn't look at it like that. The Torah looks at it like lifnei iver lo titen michshol, in front of a blind person, don't put a stumbling block. Meaning, men are blind. Okay, they see a pretty woman, their body just goes into automatic mode. They don't start thinking, oh yes, this, that. Right away, what they
Animal
see,
instinct.
exactly, their animal instinct takes over, 100%. Okay, so the woman who knows this, right? A woman who knows this will be smart. Hey, I'm not gonna cause men to look at me and get excited for no reason. Okay? There's a story in the Gemara that a woman, some of the Talmidei Chachamim, they came to I think it was Abu Gurion. They came to him and sorry, don't get me with the name, but they came to one of the rabbis and they asked him to pray for rain. So he didn't talk to them. He brought them over to his house. Okay, and his wife came out to meet him. Okay, his wife came out to meet him, and when she comes out to meet him, she's dressed up. She looks good. She has makeup on. She has jewelry. So the Chachamim said to him, "What's going on? Why is your wife looking like this?" Okay, they came to him to ask for prayers. Okay, so he's bigger than them, right? Like they came to him to ask for prayers for rain. Like he was such a holy person that if he prays for it, in his merit will get rain. So they asked him, like, why is your wife all dressed up? So he told them, she dresses up at home so I don't have to look at other women outside. Okay, a smart woman will take care of the man at home so he doesn't have to look outside. But you see that the Chachamim said, what is going on? Why is your wife dressed up? Meaning, don't dress up when you go outside. Okay? Not don't look presentable, right? Not to look disgusting, right? But don't dress up in order to excite men on the outside. Exactly. Okay?
Only in the house.
הלא אסרו לחכמים להסתכל בבגדי צבעונים של נשים שטוחים בכותל. There's a prohibition for a man to look, let's say, women used to put out their laundry to dry, right?
Yeah.
A man can't look at a woman's colored clothing, okay? That's just hanging out to dry, okay? This has, forget about the lingerie boutiques and Victoria's Secrets and walking, in the mall and that kind of stuff. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about there's a prohibition to even look at a woman's clothing that is colorful.
It's a prohibition.
Okay, and now it's not
We have dryers now.
yeah, we have dryers, thank God. Right?
True.
But you can
See?
look at Victoria's Secret.
In Israel, remember
underwear.
they're hanging
Oh, yeah.
years ago.
Ah,
in
yeah,
Israel.
in Israel. Right? Okay. אפילו כשאינה מלובשת בהם, even though she's not wearing them, right? He's just looking at clothing. The Torah says, no, זה לא מוגזם. The Torah says, don't look at that for guys,
Because it's
right?
machshava.
Because what goes in
Right,
your head,
but guys,
that's what
actually-
happens in your body.
Oh, wait a second. A guy, you're a guy. Seriously, they look at that and they start having thoughts?
זה מה שאמרו לנו.
Are you
It's not that,
serious?
it happens automatically.
What?
That's
Quicker than you could say what? Quicker than you can blink, it happens.
Put it to the
Okay?
dryer, that's it.
That's
It's a dryer.
that's the mechanism of a
Came
man.
to my house and I was folding laundry and somebody's underwear was in the shuffle. Your thoughts would start running?
That's not good.
It's a woman.
Okay? Don't do that. All right?
I'm honest with you.
כל שכן שיש איסור גדול יותר ועונש גדול,
Oh my God.
לאישה המתקשטת לפני אנשים המסתכלים בה. So if the prohibition is to just even look at women's clothing, right, for men, it's even more, you can understand a woman's inside the clothing and showing off. Okay?
Yeah.
Again, but all this is pride. Okay? It's pride. Look at me, look at, I want,
Look good at
give me
this,
honor, give me
look
attention.
at this.
Okay?
Kardashian.
Okay. Velo, you see, when you start getting into the details, you learn a lot more, right? So it's not just don't be prideful, right? Okay, fine, don't be prideful. Okay, next, I can go now and play sports. All right, I don't need to learn so much Torah. All right, within one thing is you can double click and all of a sudden the whole world opens up.
I have a question. We go back to Kobe Bryant when he passed away, and all these people that died with him. All these people also,
Who's this?
Kobe Bryant when he
Yeah.
passed away, when the people died with him. Those people are also they died with him, meaning they had some. Supposed to be with them, like it was supposed.
Well, of course.
Yes.
They were like picked up, like
Everything that happens, we said it multiple times. Everything that happens from the year 0 to the year 6000. It has to happen. Yes, it had a purpose and it had to happen, and nothing happens by chance. The only way you think something happens by chance is if you don't know who God is. If God is the Ein Sof, the one with no end, the one with no borders, that means He's through all of creation. So everything that happens in creation is because it was supposed to happen in creation.
If you take a plane, and God forbid him crashes, God wants all the people.
Yeah, you
So
see,
in one
see,
flight.
see,
No,
yeah,
for real.
but people, you're looking at it the negative way. But when you do a nice business deal and you make $1 million, you don't say, no, that's not God.
No.
He didn't mean that too. Right? No. You gotta, just like the good, just like the bad. There's a mitzvah to say a bracha on the good things that happen to you,
the
and a
bad
mitzvah to say on the bad things. Why? Because it's all from God, whether it's good or whether it's bad.
Right.
Okay? And you gotta thank for the good and the bad.
Like now, I said
Okay.
thank you for my pen.
Okay? But when you get the
Do you mean
paycheck,
it? Do you mean it?
when you get the
That's the question.
Hey,
I
we're not-
say it, but
we're
do you
not-
actually
we're
mean
not
it?
judging anybody,
Like, no,
yes,
and the
but
only
that's
reason
true.
I say it is because
Yes.
I'm in the same position. Like I curse and I get upset, but then I say, "Listen, this is what He wants for me." So do I say
I'm
thank
really
you?
a pen.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So we talked about this before the
Say
class
thank you.
started.
Say thank
We
you.
talked about it before the class started. You can either live in your intellect or you live in your emotions.
Right.
Okay? We all feel emotions, right?
All of it.
That's what we're supposed to feel. That's the way God made us, okay? But we're supposed to use our intellect to conquer our emotions. Okay?
control.
To control them, right? To let them out at certain times. When I'm at a bar mitzvah or I'm at a wedding and I want my emotion, use my head. Okay, now I'm supposed to be happy. Now I'm supposed to make the person happy, right? The chatan ukala happy, right? So I'm using my head, even though I may not be happy. Turn it on. Turn on the switch.
I see.
Okay?
Because I'm
Yeah.
משמח את הדבר.
Yes, yes.
The mitzvot to samech
So hard
אותם.
to do.
Even if you
Exactly.
don't want to do it, just samech אותם.
Exactly.
know.
See, what people don't understand, the Torah says, and you should love God with both your hearts. B'chol levavcha. It doesn't say b'chol libcha.
That's right.
Lev is one. Levav is two.
Meaning-
Okay? The heart is split into two sides, the left and the right side.
Right.
The right side is the good inclination, and the left side is the evil inclination. Okay? So people say, "Oh, it's my emotions, and God made me this way, and I have to feel, and you're trying to break me, you're trying to conquer my emotions." No, you don't understand. You have two parts of your emotions. You have the good side and you have the bad side of your emotions. Okay? And you have to use the intellect to know which one's the good side and which one's the bad side. Okay, if your emotions bring you to depression and to sadness and to like staying at home and like being like not good, that's a bad. Okay, if your emotions is bringing you to, okay, I have to grieve for a certain moment, 7 days, a year, okay, then it's fine. After that, I'm not grieving anymore. Okay, that's it. I have to put an end to it. Okay, so that's how you know whether your emotions are good or not. But obviously, you have to study Torah. Otherwise, you're going to say, well, God made me this way. Am I not supposed to be like this? Okay? Well, anybody could say that. Anybody, like a person who's a homosexual, let's say. They could say, well, God made me this way. Aren't I supposed to be this way? God made everybody the way they're supposed to be.
Even them?
Of course. And he commanded us on certain commandments. Some commandments are easier for some people are harder. Okay? For a stingy person to give tzedakah is a hard mitzvah.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a very hard mitzvah. Right? He'll give up anything. He'll stand on his head all day and not give, okay? For a stingy person, okay? Same thing for a homosexual. It's hard to be with a woman, you know, just as much, okay? But
he's pushing himself.
A mitzvah is a mitzvah. Your mind can conquer your heart. Your mind can conquer your body. Okay, that's the whole purpose of learning Torah. It's Kadosh Baruch Hu said, right? Barati Yetzer Hara. I created the evil inclination. Barati lo Torah Tavlin. I created the Torah as a remedy for the Yetzer Hara. If you learn Torah, you learn these things, you start thinking about these things, you talk about these things, you start living them, then you can conquer. Okay, but if you don't, you start living the moment, right, and start acting, you know, as the people around you act, you're gonna lose.
So what women don't have to learn the Torah, like they don't have to, right?
No, they still have to learn the laws.
The laws, but the Torah itself, like sitting down and learning the Shas and
Yeah, no, that they don't need to do.
Yes,
Yes, they don't need to do that.
They
Yeah.
still have to pray too.
They still have to.
Yeah, they still have
Why?
to pray.
Because
You still have to make brachot, right? You have to,
Brachot,
to bless on your food, right? You still have to act like a Jew.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just because you don't have to sit down and read all these books, okay, and analyze them and think deeply about them and all that stuff. It doesn't mean you change. You have to change your character traits, right? That you don't have to change your character traits. You'll just act as if you, just as you were born. That's as you're gonna die. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, ועוד הגאווה מביאה לידי תאווה. Okay? A person who has pride, it'll lead them to lust. Okay? כי המתגאה ליבו רחב ומתאווה לכל דבר. Okay, he has a wide heart and he wants everything. Okay? Food, women, sleep, whatever it is. Okay? That's the root is pride. So a person say, I want to work on my lust, my tava for food. Well, first work on your pride and then it'll solve that problem. Okay? Pride is a big remedy to a lot of people's ailments, a lot of people's problems. Okay?
Pride.
Yeah, pride is a horrible thing. Okay? And we live in what's worse, we live in a society where pride is lauded. It's praised. If you're prideful, if you pat yourself on the back, very good. You know, everybody has an Instagram, everybody has a Twitter account, a Facebook account, and all that stuff, right? And the more you post, the more you do stuff, and people like what you're doing. Oh, they send you all the likes and all that stuff. You're being rewarded for being out there, for showing yourself off. The more you show yourself off, the more you show yourself off, not your business. The more you show yourself off, the more congratulations you're going to get from people, right? Okay, so what are you doing it for? You're seeking the congratulations of other people. It's a pride. The root is pride. Exactly. Yep. It's a like society, right?
But the like means that you're trying to be proud, right?
Yeah, if you're seeking the like, well, I mean, why are you posting a picture of yourself, where you were last night, or what you're eating, or what you're doing? Who needs to know this stuff?
I have, so the doctor
No, I don't post
from the surgeon on my daughter,
Hmm?
he was pretty proud, you know that?
I don't like to post personal.
I'm thinking about it right now, he's really proud.
Yeah,
I'm
surgeons
the
are-
best of the
surgeons-
best and I'm the best.
Surgeons are awful.
I'm the best and
Okay,
It's the truth.
God, please don't let us fall in the hands of surgeons or any
Yeah.
doctor for that
For
matter,
real,
okay?
for real.
Because some of them, they're not some of them, a lot of the majority of them are very prideful, arrogant people.
I'm the best.
Yeah. והתאווה היא המידה הרעה שבכל המידות. A person who has lust, it's the worst kind of trait you can have. כי יתהווה מחמת גאוותו ללבוש בגדים יקרים. Okay, because of his lust, they want to wear, expensive clothing, ולבנות פלטרים גדולים, and build nice fancy houses, ולאכול מאכלים טובים, and to eat good foods, right? כי המתגאה לעולם לדברים גבוהים יחמוד. Right? A person who's prideful, he'll want like the best things, the best water, the best wine, the best steaks, the best of everything, right? The most expensive restaurants, right? He can't cook at home. No. He's got to go to the fancies of the fancies, right? He's got to get that very expensive, foreign car. Okay? Not because he needs a car to get from point A to point B, he's just got to show off what he has.
Style.
Right? He has to style it right. Okay? Now what happens? ואולי ידו אינה משיגה לדברים אלו. God decreed that he's not going to get, right, these things, okay? ומתוך כך יבוא לידי גנבה וגזל. So now he'll start cutting corners and he'll steal, right? He'll steal stuff. We all know businessmen that are crooked,
Oh my God.
right? Well, what are they crooked for? If a person's happy in what they're eating, what they're drinking, what they're driving, what they're wearing, they don't need to steal. They could be honest in business.
Right.
They don't have to cut corners.
Right.
Oh, well, everybody does it. So what if everybody does it? Do you have what you need for your daily life, or are you trying to get more and more and more, and it's never enough? Okay? You see how that one trait,
Greedy.
you're right, we're going to get to greed, but if you uproot this trait, you don't have to get to those traits so badly, right?
Right.
Okay? כי המתגאה ליבו חומד ורחב כיס להתעשר. Okay? A person who's prideful wants to be rich.
Okay.
ולא יהיה שמח בחלקו. And he won't be happy with what he has. Okay? The Torah says, the Pirkei Avot says, איזו העשיר? שמח בחלקו. Who is the one who's rich? Someone who's content with what he has, right?
It doesn't matter what it is.
Right? Let's say you have all the money in the world and you're not content, you want more, then
You're not happy.
you're unhappy. Something inside is missing. It's lacking. Okay? So you're not really rich. Okay?
No.
כי ימעט בעיניו מה שיש לו. What he has in his eyes is not enough. לפי רוב הוצאות תאוות גאוותו. The more he has pride, the more he's going to have, this inclination to get and amass more and more. Okay? Right? Some people, I heard a class about this. Some people use business as a scorecard. Okay, last year I made this. Oh, now I gotta double it. I gotta do more. And did I do good or did I not do good? Well, let's compare it to last year. Instead of thinking, okay, did God give me what I need? Do I eat? Do I sleep? Do I? No,
Well, you're
he
right,
keeps
you
he
should,
uses a scorecard to measure his self-worth. Right?
That's right.
It's craziness, right? It's craziness. He ruins his life, okay? Remember we said the Torah is not tips for life, okay? The Torah is life. But, if you start thinking about it, you see it's the more straight path.
Is it the same thing for the Goyim as well?
For everybody.
For the whole world?
Yeah, the whole world. Okay? The Goyim have 7 commandments, right?
Yeah.
But they still have character traits, right? We all as humans have character traits, right? So we have to fix our character traits. We have to become more refined people. And this week's parasha is Yitro. Yitro was considered the most refined person, okay, even though he worshipped idols.
Right, he did.
Okay, so he wasn't Jewish, right?
No.
He worshipped idols, but he was still considered a refined person. Okay, and because he was so refined, God brought him over to the good side.
Right.
Okay, to know God and to serve God the right way, and not to serve idols. That's what I mean by the good side.
Yeah.
Okay, but because he was a refined person, not because he was a lowly, disgusting person who serves idols. Okay, so you see, even amongst the nations of the world, okay, we're still humans. We're still Bnei Adam, the sons of Adam. Adam was the first person,
Kulanu.
right? Exactly. We're all Bnei Adam, the sons of man. Okay, so even though we have a higher job, right, as Jews, 613 commandments, okay, and they only have 7, okay, we still both have a body and a soul and character traits and everything like that.
I want to know what the 7s are.
We can have
Get
another
there?
class, yeah, we'll get there.
Good.
Okay.
Easy.
ועוד הגאווה גורמת שלא יהיה סבלן לסבול על עול הבריות. Okay. Also, your arrogance will cause you to not be patient.
Yes.
Okay. To have the yoke of, creations, the people, right? Their burdens. You will be patient with their burdens. So a guy in front of you, you'll cut him off, right?
Yeah,
You'll be short with people. You'll be moody. You'll yell at them and all that stuff because
and
you're impatient.
them.
Embarrass them,
Which
exactly.
is the worst, right?
ואין צורך להעריך בפחיתת מי שאינו סבלן. And I don't have to even talk about a person who's not patient. כי ידוע הוא לכל. Everybody knows about this, right? A person who's impatient
It's not good.
is a tyrant, right? He's a horrible person. Okay? וזאת היא גאוות הגוף שהיא טובה. Now, we said there's in the body there's good pride and bad pride.
Okay.
Okay? This book is like a soup, right? You put too much salt, it's not good. You don't put enough salt, it's still not good, right? You have to put just the right amount. So same thing. Pride, there's good pride, okay? So, Shema Yomar Adam, maybe a person will think, Oil ve'agava היא מידה רעה כל כך, right? Because pride is such a bad character trait, אפרוש ממנה ביותר. I'll stay away from it as much as possible. עד שלא יאכל בשר, I won't eat meat, ולא ישתה יין, I won't drink wine, ולא יישא אישה, I won't get married, right? ולא יישב בדירה נאה, I won't sit in a nice house, okay? ולא ילבש מלבוש נאה, I won't wear nice clothing, okay? אלא השק, I wear sackcloth, והצמר, and wool, הקשה, ובגדים קרועים ומלוכלכים, I wear like ripped clothing and dirty clothing, who needs to wash them? I'm trying to get away from this pride business. וישתמש בכלים מלוכלכים ומאוסים, and all use dirty dishes.
Homeless.
Okay, yeah, basically like what, what we call God forbid, a homeless person, right?
God forbid, man.
Okay, but they do it out of necessity, right?
So
but a
homeless
person might think, oh, I'll be like them because I want to get away from that stuff, right? I want to be holy, right? I'll be so holy, I'll get away from the good stuff
The good stuff.
completely. Right. Okay, ולא יחץ פניו, ידיו ורגליו. He won't wash himself, he won't wash his face, he won't wash his hands, his feet. עד שישחית תערו משאר אנשים, right? He won't look like other people, right? It'll be just disgusting. וכל זה עושה כדי שיתרחק מן הגאווה. He's doing all this to stay away from pride. עד שלא יוכל להתרחק יותר. Okay? Until he won't be able to get any further from it. המהלך בדרך זו נקרא חוטא. A person who does this is called a sinner. Okay? It's very bad. Okay? He went the other way, totally the other way, but he's called a sinner. Why? שהרי הוא אומר בנזיר, it said about a person who's a Nazir, right? A Nazirite. Okay? So what was a Nazirite? A Nazirite is a person who didn't, talking about the simplest Nazirite, not the lifetime Nazirite, but the simplest Nazirite wouldn't cut their hair for 30 days. They wouldn't drink wine for 30 days. They wouldn't go into impure situation like a grave for 30 days. Okay, and it's just a minimum of 30 days. Okay, but at the end, okay, he would have to bring offering, korban, right, a sin offering. Why? We're gonna read. וכיפר עליו מאשר חטא על הנפש, right, and he will atone because he sinned. Okay, אמרו חכמים, אם נזיר שלא פרש אלא מן היין נקרא חוטא. The Nazir just stayed away from wine, right? He's called a sinner. המונע עצמו מכל דבר, someone who stays away from the rest of the things in the world, על אחת כמה וכמה, right? Even more so, right? So you're a sinner for staying away from the goodness of God that he made in the world, okay? A person is also like, if he sees a good fruit in the marketplace and he never tasted it before, he's going to get in trouble for not tasting it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't know
Now
that.
you might think, oh, God wants you to enjoy the world. No, God wants you to recognize him in every single place.
Yes.
He's in the fruit, he's in the wine, he's in everything. That's why we bless on everything.
Because, yeah.
Okay? We bless on everything, saying we are God's witnesses to creation. Okay? So when we're blessing, we're testifying that God made the fruit. We're testifying that God made the water. We're testifying that God drew out the waste out of my body after I had finished with the bathroom, right? We're testifying. We are the witnesses to God in this world. Okay?
We utilizing everything אנחנו משתמשים בכל מה שהוא נותן לנו.
Yeah.
משתמש בכל.
Yeah, you use it, sure, use it, but when you bless on it, Okay, you're testifying that God did it.
Is it true that somebody told me that when you eat a carrot and you hear the crunchy of the carrot, the carrot has neshama, and you hear the carrot talking to you? I don't know. Somebody told me that. I was like, what?
No,
I didn't know
that
what
doesn't
That-
sound right. I never
She's
heard
like,
of
I
something
don't
like that.
carrots.
Don't worry about those
No,
things.
she'll talk how she carrot all day. I'm like, carrot, yeah,
Certain things,
carrot.
you don't need to worry about those things. That's
Okay,
that's
so-
not a point. Okay, everything has a soul in it, right?
Just like that.
So if you're sitting on this chair, right, there's certain sparks in it. Okay, if you're learning Torah, the sparks in there are happy. If you're using it to watch TV and watch improper things and do that, the chair is upset. Okay, the sparks in there are upset. So you gotta realize what you're doing.
I see.
Okay? Either you're doing good or you're doing bad. Okay?
Yeah.
אמרו חכמים, לא דייך מה שאסרה תורה, אלא שאתה אוסר עליך דברים אחרים. It's not enough what the Torah says you're not allowed to have, that you make yourself extra stuff not to do. ועל עניין זה וכיוצא בו אמר שלמה, אל תהיה צדיק הרבה, ואל תחכם יותר, למה תשומם? Okay? Shlomo HaMelech, right? King Solomon was the wisest person in the world. He said, don't be too smart. Don't try to outsmart God. Okay? God said, don't do this.
That's it.
That's enough.
That's it.
Okay? It's enough. Enough. The things that he gave us to do are enough. We don't have to add, extra things. Okay?
Don't add to the Torah. Whatever Torah gives you, that's it.
Yeah, right? Torah is, train yourself to do the Torah. Okay? So it says, "Aderech hayeshara ba'adam," the straight path that a person should take. Sheyeh naki b'kol inyanav. He should be clean with everything that he does.
Example.
Clean. He washes his face. He takes a shower.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
He washes his clothing. Hygiene
Oh,
stuff,
okay,
right?
that's what I'm
Hygienic
talking about.
stuff.
Clean of what? I don't know. It's clean of
Hygiene.
not being big.
Hygienic stuff. Yeah, they say like modern plumbing did more for people's health than any doctor ever did. Okay, modern plumbing, meaning they used to go outside and well water and disgusting. They used to urinate and defecate all over the place, and used to be. That's what brings disease. The uncleanliness brings disease.
Right.
Okay, the cleaner you are, the more hygienic you can put disease at bay, right? כי הנקיות היא הדרך על המעשים הטובים. כיצד? How should be? ילבש בגדים בינוניים. Should wear medium-sized clothing, not medium-sized like the size of the clothing, but
That's fancy.
not
Right,
too fancy
right,
and
too
not
fancy.
poor,
Right.
right? Somewhere in the middle.
Middle.
Okay? ולא מלבושים יקרים ונעים מאוד, שהכל מסתכלים בהם, not so expensive clothing that you draw people to look at
Like
you.
brand name and stuff. brand name.
Exactly, brand name and brand name for the sake of the brand name. No.
Prada, Gucci.
No, you could wear the brand name, but if you're wearing the brand name for the sake of the brand name,
Or for because you just
right?
like
That's
it.
another story. You like the style, that's another. That's one thing. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for that,
Brand
rip the tag off.
For people to tell, oh, he has this.
Exactly.
So you're not supposed to do
Exactly.
that.
Not supposed to do that.
Got it. But if you just like it, you like it because you like it.
Yeah, you like it. You like it. What are you
Let's say
gonna
that
do?
Anashim say 9.
Huh?
Big
Yeah,
deal.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Be
it.
humble.
Yeah.
No Gucci, we go, be humble.
Another thing is people don't understand. Okay, yeah, this is the way you act without pride, but you don't understand the evil that you're drawing to yourself by having these fancy things. People look and people get jealous, right?
That's evil.
There's a commandment.
Ayn hara.
There's
Kobe
exactly.
Bryant, I think,
There-
died from that.
Yeah, definitely,
באמת, חשבתי על זה.
definitely,
צודקת.
definitely.
באמת.
The Torah says
לא היה מקום.
the Torah says 99% of people die. 99% of people die from evil eye.
That's true.
100%. I believe
That
you.
means 1% dies of natural causes.
היא
Okay.
צודקת, היא צודק.
1% dies of natural
להציל
causes.
לנו מעין הרע, אנשים רעים,
Yeah,
קשים,
100%.
בבוקר, נכון?
100%. You say it every
משכן רע,
morning.
מייצר רע, מחבר
Get me
רע,
away from these evil people.
Every
Yes.
morning when you leave,
Yes.
you
There-
know.
there's an actual Jewish law, okay? There's an actual halakha, Jewish law, that you're not allowed to stand on a person's field, meaning like back in the day they used to have fields, and that was their source of income. When the field starts to grow, you see like the fruits coming up, right? And that's how much money the person's going to get and how rich they are going to be. So there's a prohibition to stand on a person's field at the time that his crops are growing. You might give them ayn hara. You might give them the evil eye. You might. Not that you will, like you might. Okay? But what if a person says, no, I'm clean, I can stand there. No. You can't stand there.
So Ainara, actually you bring it to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can.
So
Bingo.
People are like,
The
I'm
mo-
gonna put khamsa. No, but you bring it to yourself.
Exactly.
That doesn't really help the khamsa lishma.
It doesn't. It
Push
doesn't.
to
It
you.
doesn't. Exactly. The more you draw attention to yourself,
That's what you're gonna.
the more you're going to draw the
If
evil out of
khamsa is
yourself.
with a lot of diamonds, that will bring you.
Exactly. And every soul is different. Every neshama could take more or less. Some people could have a very strong neshama, so they could take more ainara, right?
some people don't.
But eventually it hits them. Let's say Kobe took it for 41 years. People
And
are
then-
looking at him and talking about him, and then boom, one day it's too much, right?
A lot of celebrities are like that.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities are
A
like
lot.
that,
They're
right?
They all of a sudden this
Yeah.
this that. Like what happened? Like you
Well,
know,
I know, huh?
Right. Some people could take it, and some people take it more. Some people take it less. You know, some people are very fragile. You
So
know,
that's why when you have like you know beautiful children,
Exactly.
you know, be brought to separate.
So,
Yeah.
That you just don't show.
yeah,
off.
people like to show off.
And then when they show off babies on the internet, it's not good either.
Exactly.
Some kind of babies on the internet,
Right.
you don't know.
Be-
you know?
exactly.
Oh, she's a beautiful
It's-
baby.
it- it's
What
not
about
just
somebody
babies.
sees
It's not just babies.
baby
People
that
talk
is
about
not
their
good.
relationships online, right? Where you don't think there's you know, people of the opposites looking at that and said, oh, I wish I had that wife. I wish I had that husband.
So you know what?
Right?
The
That's why I don't
Facebook
like
is
to put all that
Facebook
stuff on
is the
Facebook.
worst of the Ainara. He brings
Exactly.
Ainara.
Exactly. You bring Ainara to
זה
yourself.
נורא מפחיד.
You
זה
bring
נכון.
Ainara to yourself. 100%. 100%.
I don't like to put
And then
personal
things
stuff.
don't go right in life, and you're like, oh, I thought God is a good God. Well, yeah, He
But
is,
he's putting
but
the-
you got to follow the program here, you know.
Especially babies. You know.
זה לא רק
It's
baby, זה
everybody.
הכל. אפילו
It's
אימא יכולה
everybody.
לעשות לבן שלה עיניים.
Yeah, it's everybody. A person could even do Ainara to himself,
Oh,
right? Right? A person can be like, wow, look how good I did last year in business. Psh, okay? And he prays to himself. Like Marai even says, a person should look at the left side of his nose anytime he might think that he's giving himself
the
Ainara.
left side.
Yeah, on the left side of his
What do you mean
nose.
left side?
What do you mean? Hold on.
Wait.
Close your eyes and
Look
look
at
at the
it
left side of your nose.
How
Yes,
do you
yes,
do that?
yes.
And then what happened when you look at his nose? What happened?
So it kind of it counteracts the
that's
effects
right.
of you looking at yourself and giving yourself Ainara.
So what do? You
Okay.
take it out when you look at yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I mean-
I
really?
like that.
You take it out?
Not
Yeah,
taking
but
that. I mean, like you don't let it have an effect on you. You start thinking like, "Wow, I look
Yeah,
good."
like,
And you look down there.
Oh, looking very nice today.
חכי, תגיד, תעשי ככה.
Alright.
שלא ייתקע.
Imagine
Imagine it's stuck.
you go to a wedding and then you look beautiful.
All right.
מה קרה לה?
פעם הבאה שאני רואה אותך,
No,
Now, right?
that's
Now
crazy.
that's what happened. And what would women do? They style their hair. They go to the hairstylist. What are they doing? They're showing off. They're drawing. They're drawing.
It's beautiful, it's beautiful. Ah, yes, yes,
נראה לי
yes.
אני אלך לבר מצווה.
Exactly. Ah, exactly. Thank
You
you.
know what, my
A woman
grandfather-
should cover their hair.
My grandfather used to tell my mom, my grandfather as a child, he said, my mom, when you go to a place, you go like as simple as possible, put the mitpachat על הראש, put this, don't look good. So my mother said, אבל אני רוצה, you know, she was like, what, 18 years old? I want to look good. She said, because he was a big rabbi. He said, you have to show the opposite when you go to, as simple as possible, that nobody can give you a compliment.
It's true.
So now I'm thinking about it right now, you're saying that, see, and my mom was like, I couldn't understand my father when he used to tell me, go there as simple as a simple dress, no makeup, but I'm going to a party. Which is whatever, wedding. No,
Yeah,
דווקא
you
שם,
remember that. שם זה הכי
דווקא שם
מסוכן.
אל תלכי
Right.
מלובשת.
הולכים סוכה.
Right, exactly. So you see that you want to be as humble as possible, not
You
draw
learn
any
Torah,
attention
you
to
know,
yourself.
see, we learn Torah.
Right.
My grandfather was about 120 years old, and look at the same thing.
Same thing.
Go
Torah
Jose.
doesn't change. It doesn't change. Okay, but now you guys have grew up. You see life. You understand it better. When you tell it to a kid, the kid's like, "No, I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen." What?
Exactly.
You know, because I see the world going. I see, right? So any person who doesn't want to listen to Torah, they're still immature. They're still immature in their brain. They could be 50. They could be 90. They're still immature in their brain. Okay, they're not ready to accept what really
Exactly.
what reality is, right? But you know, the more God opens up their heart, little by little, they can.
Sometimes I say to myself, why my heart was not open years and years ago?
So remember what we said.
You weren't
Remember what we
ready.
said.
You were not ready.
No, remember what we said. Yeah, you could say a person's not ready or this and that, but God has a plan, right? So the plan is to uplift all the sparks. Remember the 288 sparks?
Yes.
Okay, they're in everything.
Right.
They're in your cars, they're in your keys, they're in the dust in your house, they're in every single space, right? They're in the air we breathe, it's
Yes.
everywhere.
Right.
Okay? And the person is to the reason is to uplift those sparks. So the Arizal says that why are we in exile? Why are we in the lands of the Goyim? I think you asked that many classes back. What he says that God threw out these sparks all over creation, and he wants us to come in and gather them. Okay? And when a Jew keeps the mitzvot, he gathers them. Okay? But sometimes, a Jew has to go down deep into the shells. Okay? It's called the klipot, and to pull them out. Okay? So let's say, for instance, there's klipot in the bars. Well, like a religious rabbi is not going to go into the bar, right? So he makes a secular kid go in there. He's in college and does what he does over there, and all the fun and all the beer and whatever he drank. He has to pull out those sparks, and then one day that kid decides, okay, now I'm going to do tshuva. Now I'm going to be righteous. Now that's it. Okay? So now what he's doing, he's pulling out those sparks that was in that bar.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
And we never thought about that, right? We're just
No.
thinking, oh, this is my life, and
Yeah.
I didn't wake up yet, and one day I'll wake up, and one day I'll see the truth, and one day...
Exactly. And
God has a deeper plan what's going on. Okay? He sends us to certain places that only we can go there and pull them out. Like, let's say some people have to go to Hollywood, right?
Right,
And
they
be
just-
in all the drugs and the sex and the rock and roll and all the stuff like that and come out. If I did that, I'd probably stay in there. But God said somebody else in there to pull it out.
And come out of it.
Okay.
And continue.
Right? There's a rapper. His rapping name was Shine. Okay, you guys don't know him. He hung around with Puffy and Biggie and all the big guys.
So we don't know.
And because you don't know him, he got arrested. Okay, he was hanging out with them. He took the rap. They got out free. He went to jail. In jail, he discovered, he knew he had Jewish roots, but he didn't really know. He started discovering more and more. Today, he's studying in Jerusalem, right? His name is Moshe Levi, not Shine, okay? Okay. And he's not the only one. But if I was in there, I probably would have stayed with them, with those guys. Who knows, right? God sends certain souls to there because only they can bring it out of there. Okay?
Unbelievable.
Nice.
And God knows who it is, right? Yitro,
Yeah.
right? Yitro, this week's parsha, is not a normal guy. He was one of Paro's advisors. Okay, be an advisor of the king. You're not like a dummy. You're not like a normal guy,
Smart.
right? So God throws him in there. He worships all the idols in the world, then brings them out. And you know what? I'm going to name the Torah portion after you.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
It wasn't a dummy, right? It wasn't a dummy, but only Yitro could go down there,
No, but
right?
it's-
If I started worshiping idols and the whole world starts giving me, kavod and I have women lined up, I might stay there. Who knows? But Yitro could come out.
That's why he put him in there.
Exactly.
זה התפקיד שלו.
Okay. Okay.
כולם
Yeah.
התפקיד שלו.
Everybody has their thing. Even Paro, the Midrash says, we think Paro died. Paro didn't die.
No.
The Midrash says God made him live through Yam Suf. Okay, and he became the king of Nineveh.
Nineveh.
Okay,
Oh,
Nineveh
really?
was a city. Yeah, he became the king of Nineveh.
אחרי זה.
Yeah, and then Yonah, the prophet Yonah,
Yeah.
נכון.
had to go give a prophecy to Nineveh. Change your ways, or else God will kill you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, who was the king over there?
פרעה.
The king was Paro. What did Nineveh do? Nineveh did tshuva, right? Because Paro said, "I know this
Yeah.
God. This God's real. Let's do tshuva." Okay,
Oh, look at that.
but only Paro could have escaped, right?
Because he saw everything.
All his
everything, right,
soldiers, everybody else died
Died
in
in
Yam
the
Suf,
Jews,
right?
yeah.
He's-
Paro needed to escape because he was going to become big. He was going to be the king in Nineveh and make everybody do tshuva. Okay. One of the Tehillim is Mima'amakim karaticha Hashem. Right? From the depths I will call out to you, God. Right? The simplest meaning is like I'm going to have so much problems, and when I have the problems, I'll call to you. Right? No. The deeper meaning is I'm going to go down to the depths,
Yeah.
and from the depths, I'm going to pull out all the sparks and bring them up to you.
Wow.
They found this too about a month ago, ארכיאולוגיה in והם עשו שם, הם מצאו את הגלגלים של...
Oh yeah, I read about the article.
The wheels
They
are
found everything,
chariots and
not
stuff.
just
Yeah,
the
sure.
wheels. They found like horse,
horse,
what is it? The things that they put on the horses.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Amazing.
Damn so.
It's real. Everything's real. It's not.
Everything's real. No, yeah.
It's not fake. See, the problem is we grew up in such a physical society. We don't know. We don't hear these things. We don't know these things, right? We grow up disconnected from the land,
Yes, we are.
right? The land of Israel.
That was an invent.
That doesn't matter. The land of Israel right now, right? There's so many artifacts. There's so many things there, right?
yeah.
There's Jericho, right? You learn in the Torah. Oh, the walls of Jericho cave. You can go there. You can see. Okay. There's Yerushalayim. There's a Beit HaMikdash. You can go there and you can see.
Yeah.
You know, Israel is full of all this. There's holy men in the Torah that died and they were buried there. You can go there and you can see.
נכון.
When you live in other lands, you're disconnected from what the Torah says, like from the stories, from the history of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why it's important. Like every Jew should go there, just to look around and connect. Yeah, sure, connect
You do
to.
connect. You need to
Absolutely,
connect,
you connect 100%.
100%.
איפה זה היה שאמרת שהקבר, that you have to, when you go to the קבר, you told us a story, I'm trying to remember.
It's far away from the
No, it
town.
was one of our forefathers, I think it was. שזה היה קבר,
לאה?
לא, מערת המכפלה, יש שם משהו I forget, you told us a story, משהו מיוחד, בקבר של אחד האבות שלנו.
כולם ביחד.
Never was that.
Who's the wife of Yaakov?
למדנו
Leah.
את זה.
And Rachel.
No, but he buried Leah somewhere
He's-
else
he-
in the middle of nowhere.
No, that's Rachel.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And there was a reason for that.
Yeah.
There was a reason for the middle of nowhere.
Well, yeah, of course.
נכון?
Yeah. She
Everything
died-
is a reason.
Yes, Rachel died on the
They asked him,
way.
where you live?
Right, Rachel died on the way, right? She died on the way, and she was buried there. Well,
Right.
he could have taken her to Marat
נכון,
HaMachpelah. Why did he leave her there?
נכון.
Right, because he knew, he saw,
She would pray for
through
Israel.
through his prophecy that the Jews are going to be exiled. Okay, they're going to be thrown out of the land of Israel, and they're going to need somebody to pray for them.
Right.
Okay, so he left her there. He buried her there, and when the Jews really did get exiled, they went through. That was the path that they were taken through, and she prayed for them that the exile should end and they should come back to the land. Okay, because it says tzaddikim have more power when they leave this
Look at
world
that.
than they do in this world.
That's where we
Okay.
במבצע צוק איתן, this woman, she's completely like doesn't believe in anything. She said that her son said that he saw Rachelmenu in the Krav. And she was what she told him, go here, go there, do this, do
I
that,
believe
go
that.
this. And she said she was like just like telling them what to do, and they were following her.
Okay.
That's crazy. זה
משהו, צמרמורת.
אל תבכי.
Okay. So do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't wear fancy clothing. ולא מלבוש עניים שמבזה את לובשו, or clothes that
Poor
down.
people,
No, they poor clothing, but it degrades you. Okay, don't degrade yourself and don't make yourself too fancy.
So
In the
medium,
middle.
like in the middle.
Clean, professional.
וזהו, לא צריך יותר מדי.
That's fine.
כאילו,
Yeah.
פשוט ולעניין.
Yeah. Yeah. אבל בגדים בינוניים, נעים ונקיים. They should be pleasant and clean.
Okay.
Okay, and לפי עוניו, והעשיר לפי עושרו. Like everybody
Yes.
according to what they have in their pocket, right? How
So
much money they
if
have.
you're rich, you dress up.
Well, you're gonna buy better quality things,
formal.
just
לא לנקר
naturally, right?
עיניים, אבל
Macy's.
You're not gonna shop at the thrift store. Right.
Macy's.
even though there's a lot of people that do that.
Makes
No,
sense, it's good quality.
You can go. I'm saying you could go to the thrift store. You could wash the clothing. You could iron it. You can make it. You could spruce it up, make it look
Yeah,
nice and
make it-
presentable.
But you don't have to.
But
make,
you don't. But like if you're rich, you're not gonna be around those type of stores, right?
Are you allowed to wear jewelry?
What are you wearing it for? ואסור שימצא כתם או שמנונית על בגדיו, right? A person shouldn't have any stains or dirt on their clothing, right?
Absolutely.
ולא יהיו קרועים, and they shouldn't be ripped. Now here's a spiritual, I'll give you a spiritual nugget for this. Dirt is something that there's an evil malach, an evil angel, okay, that he likes dirt.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, he likes disgusting places.
He does?
Okay, yeah, and but what does he like? Right? He makes a person poor. Okay, that's what this angel does. He likes those places, and he keeps the person poor.
To
Okay,
enjoy
to
what
keep to keep being dirty, keep not cleaning up, keep all
So
that.
how you
So
do it?
a
So
person
if
who
you're
has
working with dogs,
so a person who has this, all right, guys, a person who has this. I'm talking about disgustingness. Okay,
Yeah.
disgustingness. Okay,
So what do you do?
velo yukruim, or ripped. If your clothes is ripped, the Yetzer Hara also jumps on that. Okay,
Oh my
so he's hanging the
goodness.
animal over there, right? So he causes the person to sin. His clothes are ripped, all right, and he's causing him to sin. Okay, so you got to,
Be careful.
So when you-
even
when you
even
talking
even
about
the Torah has a
clothes-
practical and like tells you what to do. Clothes, the clothes
Only
that we wear.
the-
Cannot be ripped, cannot be dirty, cannot be
when you say
what else?
rip,
Too fancy,
Too fancy.
קבוע.
It cannot be
כן,
too
אבל למשל,
flashy.
סתם דוגמה,
Cannot
הסתכלתי
be
לראות
okay.
too poor.
Too poor.
Okay,
אפשרי, זה
So
ממש
for me,
גרוע.
is
Yeah,
jewelry,
yeah,
hold on,
yeah.
is jewelry
Yeah.
זה או לא טוב?
what?
Is it okay to wear jewelry or no?
זה לא
Well,
טוב.
jewelry you got to be
Because you get
careful.
married with the
No, well, you got to be careful. So when you get married,
you would do
You
the ring, no?
serious?
right? But guys.
Hold on, I want to hear
Okay, when you get married, there's a mitzvah to marry a person with a shaveh pruta. He used to give you some kind of thing that's worth something. Okay, the custom has become to give a ring. Okay, but the ring doesn't have to be worth more than that little bit of something. It could be a $10 ring, $20 ring. It doesn't have to be a nice shiny diamond that people are
But
like,
if it gets married
wow.
diamond,
Alright?
4 carats.
Okay, now you got to wait. Hold on, slow down. Diamonds aren't bad because diamonds, one of their powers is to make a person rich. Okay, so a person who has diamonds on their body, the money will be drawn to them. Okay, so you could have little ones. You don't have to have ones that show yourself off so much. Even if you have it in your pocket, right?
and if it's a real
Right.
diamond, it looks just like diamond.
Then that's
Just
even
saying,
worse.
people.
It's even worse because what are you doing? You're trying to show off, right? You're not using it for the power to attract money to you. You're trying to show people off, like as if you have the money to buy the diamond.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
Interesting.
no good.
Yeah, you have to take it off.
Yeah. Anything that's ripped, you want to sew it up.
Sew it.
You want to sew it up.
Sew
Okay.
it,
Don't
sew
worry
it
about
out.
it, guys. Okay. Anything you learn in Torah, you gotta have some kind of proportions. Like don't go crazy just because you heard something. You heard something, okay, take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, like now's not the time to take care of it. You don't have you don't have a sewing needle and a thread to fix it. So what are you gonna do? Worried about it now? Wait. Okay. But yeah, sure. Take care of things when you can. גם מאכלו יהיה נקי. Also your food should be clean.
Yeah, בטח,
אוקיי?
בטח, מה זה?
ולא יאכל מעדני מלך, אך מאכל בינוני ומשקה בינוני לפי השגת ידו. Okay, you don't have to go to a fancy schmancy restaurant. Okay, but just eat the kind of food that you normally eat, right? Normally a person makes for themselves. Yeah, you don't have to get a fancy chef and all the gourmet foods that are
You just eat
everywhere.
like normal.
Eat normally, right? To satiate your body, right?
That's it.
כתוב צדיק אוכל לשובע נפשו. A righteous
I wanna know what
person,
it is, yeah. Eat-
righteous person eats
Okay.
to the satiation of their soul, meaning the body doesn't need so much.
So you eat and you don't overeat.
Exactly. Overeating is not allowed.
When you go to a buffet, when you have
Oh,
a
you
wedding,
don't go to a
They
buffet.
give you like tons of stuff, especially
Right.
Bukharim.
Enjoy.
Bukharim, the basar,
Exactly.
the basar,
Exactly.
too much.
So what do you
You
think?
get out of the...
Are they being nice to you or are they being evil to you?
Evil.
Exactly. You see how the world's upside down? There's a story in the Torah, all right, that one of the Chachamim went up to Shamayim, right? He went up to heaven, and when he came back down, they asked him, "What do you see?"
Yeah.
He sees, I see a whole upside down world. The people who are lowly in this world were high in that world. The people who are high in this world are lowly in that world. Everything's upside down. They told him, "No, you saw the real world.
You saw the real
We live in called Alma Deshika, the world of lies.
Alma,
Alma Deshika, the world of
Shikra,
lies.
Shikra.
Okay, the Matrix, right? If you ever watch the movie The Matrix, we live in the Matrix. Okay, the Matrix is a big lie. Okay, so things that you think are good, they're really evil. Okay, eating fancy schmancy food,
It's evil.
it's evil. Too much of it is
It's
evil, right? The Rambam says that a person should eat 2/3 of what they can take. Okay,
Tell me, because it's a good diet.
Exactly, it's a good
Can you-
diet,
can you tell me
but
how, yeah?
but it's also healthy because 2/3 of what your stomach could take that means the stomach has power to digest what you put in.
Right.
So how do I
If
know
you
what to do
fill
with my
up,
stomach?
if you fill up too much, there's no room for the stomach to work, and it just sits there.
So what do you
Okay.
do? Is
So
it
what do
a way-
you do? You know when you feel that feeling, you're like, oh, I can't move. You ate too much. Okay.
But this
So
is-
learn from day to day. Okay, if I eat this portion
That's it.
of steak, this gets me too full. So cut it down. Okay, until
Yeah,
you
but
learn.
diet,
You're not a
diet.
dummy, right? You're not
But then you're
crazy,
not
right?
supposed to throw that
It's pretty
steak
easy,
out.
huh?
You're
You're
not supposed to still, you're not supposed to
Give it
throw
to the
it out.
dog.
What?
You're not supposed to throw the food
I
out.
learned.
Eat it tomorrow.
Yeah, so don't so cook proportionally.
About basar.
Don't overcook for no reason. What are you overcooking
I
for?
don't eat basar.
People listen. We have a disease in this country of overabundance. Overabundance of
yes.
everything.
Of everything.
Okay. Overabundance is
Even
bad.
in Israel too.
Overabundance is bad. It's not good. Okay? It's the disease of overabundance. Because we have overabundance, we spend our time doing stupid things. Okay? We spend our energies and our resources doing even stupider things. They get us in trouble. Then we need doctors, and we need lawyers, and we need this. We come rely on other people for no reason. Okay? If we took care of the things we need and did everything in the right proportions, we cut down 90% of the stuff. Okay? 90% of the stuff that ails humanity is the disease of overabundance. They don't suffer from anxiety in the East where they don't have food. People in Africa are not suffering from anxiety.
No, he's
Okay?
right.
They're not suffering from depression.
No, why?
Okay?
It's
Why
weird.
in this country we have everything, we suffer from the anxiety and depression.
Yeah, why is
And,
that?
and the richest families have the most anxiety and depression.
Then
Like,
באמת,
come on.
זה מוזר.
Exactly.
זה מוזר.
It's a disease of overabundance. You have too much.
And then
Okay?
it puts you into depression.
Yeah, you put in depression. Instead of
אתה יודע, באפריקה בכלל
yeah,
לא
They
טיפש.
have no food at all.
they're worried about what they're gonna eat. They're worried about what they're gonna. The guy's gonna kill them. Exactly. Exactly.
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
surviving.
No, she's right. Try to find psychology in Africa.
This
It is
is the
not.
thing.
No,
How do you
they
have
don't go to
water?
psychology. They
You
don't
want
go to
They're
psychology?
too worried about if they're gonna have food tomorrow or not.
Exactly. You're worried about you. There's no worry about that. So what are you worried about? You start worried about other things because you don't believe in God. You don't believe there's a higher purpose to this world. So you start worried about something else. Oh, my friends don't like me. She didn't say hi to me. He looked at me this way. He yelled at me. He didn't talk to me nice.
and
So
you
worry
know-
about stuff that's like inconsequential to life and to you living. And then you ruin your life. And then you're like, well, I need a psychologist. And you're going to ruin your life even more. Oh, and the psychologist says, you got to take some pills. You just ruined your life even more. Right? Then you need a doctor. Okay? You're going to ruin your life even more. Right? A person ruins his life for no reason. God didn't create broken vessels. He created you straight. He created man straight. But man started wiggling. Okay? It says, Vayishman Yeshurun Vayivat. Right? Yeshurun, the Jews, will get fat and they will kick God out of their lives. Okay? Meaning, V'achata v'savata. Right? Velo birachta. Right? Right? All right, it says, Isha meru lachem pen yifte levavchem. Right after the brachot of Kriyat Shema. Okay? The brachot of Kriyat Shema says, God will give you the abundance of food, and your animals will have food and everything like that. Isha meru lachem. Be careful. Pen yifte levavchem, so your heart doesn't go away from God.
נכון, תיזהרו.
Why are the two connected? The bracha and then be careful.
Right.
Because the abundance of blessing
תיזהרו.
is going to lead you away from God if you're not careful.
נכון.
Okay? You can either use it to good, you can use it to bad.
Right.
So if you don't know what the purpose of life is, you don't know there's God,
So you
you don't know the commandments, you don't know how to do the commandments, what do you expect? It's gonna be
It's going
bad.
to hit you.
Abundance is gonna hit you bad.
Absolutely.
Right? Like we said, there's no depressed people in Africa.
No. בברכת המזון, it's amazing.
ובהודו.
When you really read it from word by word, at the end it says, ולא ראיתי צדיק נעזב
There's a woman's like this, like,
זאת אומרת ש...
I never saw a righteous person upset
Right.
and his kids begging for bread.
Because they do the bracha, because they do
אז הוא
the...
צדיק.
No, because the person is righteous.
לא ראיתי את זה בני זוג. אבל למה אומרים את זה בסוף הברכה של ברכת המזון? למה אומרים את זה בסוף?
It's not part of Birkat Hamazon.
זה אחרי זה, אני ראיתי.
It's an extra addition to
נכון,
it.
למה?
It's to build a new emunah, build a new faith that you should just
Okay.
trust God and not trust other people. Thank God I'm alive. Thank God I can hear. ולא ישתה ולא יאכל בכלים, we'll just finish this paragraph.
Yeah.
ולא יאכל בכלים מאוסים, and eat like out of dirty vessels, okay? Like you won't wash his plates or anything like that. פן יעבור ואל תשקצו את נפשותיכם. This is another important point, okay? If you eat from dirty things, okay, then you bring disgustingness into your soul, okay? What does it mean? Your soul is disgusted by unclean things. So for instance, when you have to go to the bathroom, people think, oh, I can hold it in. Okay, I can hold it in, it's no problem. They think like it's a strength. I used to hold in, we used to have a drive, 3.5 hour drive, and in the beginning I'd have to go and I'd hold it in, I can do it. Right? It's not just the worst thing. In men, it could lead them to become sterile.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
They
You can't have kids anymore. Okay. Because there's a thin separation between where the seed comes out and where the urine comes out, and the more they hold it in, that wears out, and the two interact, and then the person becomes sterile. That's in men. In women, right, and in men, holding in waste, okay,
Toxic.
it's toxic. It's not healthy for you. It
Very
shows up in your face. Okay, people who have like aging face is because they probably held it in. Okay, now we're not just talking about urine. We're talking about also, you know,
Number two.
number two. Okay, okay,
So
and
don't
that
do
that
that.
that makes your face, yeah, that makes your face.
Make your face
Yeah,
ugly.
you should run to go to the bathroom, right? Right, right. So, but that's the physical aspect of it, right? The physical aspect is the health benefits of it. But the spiritual aspects of it is even worse because it ruins your soul. Okay, it pushes down your soul and makes it more physical, and your soul all of a sudden doesn't like holiness. Okay, you ugly, you make your soul sullied. Okay, so. Don't dirty your soul. Don't make your soul disgusting. Everything should be clean. Right? They say cleanliness and it's the godliness. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Everything be clean. Okay.
Your house too.
Right. גם שולחנו, גם מיטתו יהיו נקיים. Even also their table, also their bed should be clean. Okay. The table, also people should be careful of the table. Right. The table is called a mizbeach shel Adam. Okay. The Torah says like now that we don't have a mizbeach, we don't have an altar.
There's other tables.
The table that you eat your food on,
Okay.
right? It says that now that we don't have a Beit HaMikdash, we don't have a temple. How are our sins? How do our sins get wiped away? Okay, meaning like every day in Jerusalem they used to offer an offering, a sacrifice in the morning, in the evening. Okay, so the one in the morning atoned for all the sins at night, and the one in the afternoon atoned for all the sins in the day. Okay, so
כמו כפרות כאלה?
yes. Okay, so now we don't have that. So what's going to atone? So Gemara says a person's table. Okay, because when they eat, their table is like an altar. Okay, and so it atones for what they all the sins that they did. Okay, especially when they eat the bread and they do Birkat Hamazon, right? They bless on the bread. Okay, that atones for what they did. Okay, see, just this thing. So what do people do? They throw their keys on the table. They put their pocketbooks on the table. You need to think, if this was an altar to God, what would you put on the table? You know, would you treat the table like an altar? Or would you treat it like anything else?
Also the table, the
No.
island.
You don't know. Just the
island
table.
זה לא, אבל אם יש כיסאות
You don't need it.
באיילנד-
You don't need a island. No.
אבל יש לנו טייבל שזה שבת, כאילו, living room, dining room.
Yeah, that table.
זה תמיד יש את ה...
It should be holy. It should be very holy. Okay,
It's not holy.
holy and clean. Now you should also should
cannot
leave.
read
You
them?
should also leave bread on there all the time because it says a table without
ומלח, נכון?
No, you can have melech as well too. All right, but a table that doesn't have something where the bracha, the blessing, could
So leave the bread.
to be on there. Yeah, there has to be a vessel for the blessing to come down. So
leave
you
the
should always have bread on the table for the blessing to come down. Okay.
That's not a problem. We'll leave the
Okay.
bread.
That's the idea of the 6 and the 7. The 7,
Yeah.
the 6 vessels is the man, right? Is the
Of course.
blessing, right? The
נכון,
sixth
גם מצאתי טוב.
the six vessels is the blessing,
And
and
the
the seventh is the vessel to receive it, right?
see.
The six levels, the six vessels is the man,
And
and the
the-
woman is the vessel to receive it. That's why the Torah says a person that's not married, right, doesn't have blessing, doesn't have money, doesn't have, all the good things,
Nachon.
because he doesn't have the vessel. He doesn't have a place for the bracha to come. Okay, so
Oh,
you
I
should
see.
have some piece of bread always on the table so that the blessing can come. Okay.
ומצה is okay? מצה?
Yeah, מצה. Okay. וכל ענייניו יהיו נקיים. Everything you do should be clean. Okay. The story of everybody knows Michael Jordan, right? So he was so
yeah.
meticulous about his stuff that even his nails, he kept them polished and clean. Okay, like even his nails, like a man. What are you doing polishing your nails, right? Listen, when you're clean, you're meticulous, and everything is in proper order. It's actually very good.
So you have
Okay.
to take a shower every day. I'm just,
Sure.
That's good. I'm just saying, man.
Sure, absolutely. If you know the halachot of
What about the
things,
holiday? You're not allowed to take a shower on the holiday.
if you know, that's not true. Okay, you're allowed to clean yourself all the time. There's no prohibition against cleaning yourself. Okay, actually, the mitzvah to clean yourself. Okay, now
שבת וזה?
every day there's a
So
mitzvah
you
to
can
clean
take
yourself.
shower?
You could do whatever you want. Okay.
This is the holiday, you're not supposed to.
Okay. Now, listen, guys. It's not time for the details. But you're allowed to clean the dirt off yourself all the time.
Okay.
Okay. On Shabbat, you're not allowed to make hot water. Okay.
Cold water.
So that's why there's a prohibition for that stuff. Okay. And you got to be careful not to pull out any hairs. You got to not to
very-
squeeze. Not to. There's prohibitions, but there's no prohibition to clean yourself.
Right.
Okay, that anybody who says that doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay, it's a mitzvah to clean yourself. You always got to be clean, right? There's so many halachot about cleanliness in the Torah. A person doesn't wipe themselves after going number 2 in the bathroom. They can't pray.
That's true.
They're not allowed to pray
I knew that.
if they don't wipe correctly. Meaning like it's clean. There's not even like a little bit down there.
So you have to use a bidet.
You can't even pray. Yes.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the truth,
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, you have to use water and
Absolutely.
you can use wipes.
You cannot go to do
Sorry
the
guys, this is a little graphic, but but you gotta use wipes. You gotta be clean down there, 100%. Otherwise, people don't know this. They go and pray. The prayers aren't answered. They're blocked.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you're not allowed to pray when you have that.
You
Okay,
have to be clean at
you have to be clean at all times. There's halachot. If you touch underneath your clothing,
Yeah.
you gotta go wash your hands.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that I learned from
Because,
you many shiur.
right, we're talking about that. You scratch your head,
Yeah,
you gotta
you
wash your
wash your
hand.
hand.
You touch your feet. You touch your feet. You
I
touch
always
your
have
legs.
itch in my ears, so
right?
I go like this.
People scratch their ears. They scratch their nose. They do that stuff. You gotta wash your hands. 100%. Right? We said why? Because a person starts becoming scared, doesn't know what they're scared for. Right? An evil spirit comes into them. Dirt draws the
Bring
evil. It brings evil spirit onto them. Cleanliness brings a good spirit onto
אז
them.
ממש התורה זה
Okay.
hygiene,
Yeah.
הכי, באמת.
אני לא נשאר לי ידיים, נשמה.
אם אני כל היום...
גם גופו, let's finish this paragraph.
Yeah.
גם גופו יהיה נקי ולא מוזם. Also their body should be
שלא
clean
יהיה
and not dirty.
dirty.
Okay? אך ייזהר לרחוץ פניו וידיו ורגליו. Always be careful to wash your face, your hands, and your feet. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you another spiritual thing is the Yetzer Hara, the evil forces, they go on everything that's an end. Okay? On anything that's an end, they jump on. Right? So the end of your hands, right?
Okay.
So there's dinim, there's evil forces there. Okay? So they attach onto your hand.
So
They
you have
attach
to-
onto your face. Okay? So you got to wash your face. You got to wash your face, right? Also your feet. Okay? But our feet are mostly covered now, okay? And so also like the feet, they can't become pure nowadays, okay? But in those days, they would become. But, if a person touches their feet, they got to wash their hands, okay? Because it's impurity down there as well. So the whole body, those specific places, if you can, you can't get ready for Shabbat, right? For instance, you have a very minimal time. Make sure your hands are washed, make sure your face is washed, and make sure your feet are washed. You do this, you're considered prepared for Shabbat to receive the holiness of Shabbat. That's the minimum. Yeah. If you can't,
Your hands, your feet,
yeah,
And-
what else?
and your face.
Your face.
Yes, that's the minimum. Okay. Because that's where the place where the evil forces latch onto. Okay.
Okay.
You ever see like when you wash your face, you feel better.
Yes.
right? When you go wash your face, right?
You do
People
so
tell you,
very
a
good.
person cries, right? Tell them wash their
Wash your
face, they
face,
feel better.
right.
They feel 100%
But you
better.
do it like twice
Okay.
a day, right?
Hmm?
Don't do it every 10 minutes. You do it in the morning. You do it at night before you go to bed.
You could do it in the middle of the day too. Go to the bathroom, wash your face, relax. You feel good, okay?
תמיד מרגישים טוב.
Yeah, of course you
Yes,
feel good.
okay.
There's a reason. Exactly, because you pull the bad energies off.
אוי,
you.
בבקשה.
Okay? It's not exactly. See, people put makeup and then the dirt stays and then they can't wash their face because then that's
So
the
no
dirt part of the makeup.
אסור
And
למקאפ.
yeah, it's crazy. People don't know, guys. In terms of makeup, people don't know where the makeup came from.
Right.
Makeup came from two evil angels that came down into the world, and they made a joke between each other. They said, "Watch how we're gonna cause people to sin." They created makeup. They came to some person. They sold it to him. They showed him this, and that's how makeup started going around the whole world.
Really?
Yes, two evil angels wanted to cause people to sin.
And that's what they came with the
Yes,
makeup.
that's how they came up with makeup. Yep.
So we all
Wow.
sin when we put makeup.
Yep, you're helping.
We're happy the evil.
I have to otherwise
Okay.
אבל כולם עושים מייקאפ.
What?
כולם שמים מייקאפ. כל
I have to put
הדתיים,
makeup.
כולם,
Remember,
כולם.
לא יפטרו אותי.
לא עושים,
לא
לא
רוצה
מייקאפ,
שיהיה
לא צריך
מקום,
מייקאפ.
אני עושים.
ואני מפחד עם מה מהשערות.
Yeah, you got to cover your hair.
That's our next step.
next
you
time.
cover
Next
cover.
time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, come on, guys. You got to cover your hair. No games. No games. Got to be holy, right? Why do we cover our head? Okay.
Why?
We all
The
do it, all
Shekhinah,
three of
right?
us
The
together.
Shekhinah. Listen, the Shekhinah rests on a person's head. A person's head is very holy, right? So God's presence rests there. Okay. The Shekhinah is the woman. Remember, there's the 6, which
And
is
the
Kucha
woman-
Berichu, and the 7th is the woman, right? Imagine a woman being uncovered. Right? A woman uncovered is not holy. It's not modest. It's not right. Because remember the snake, the primeval snake, right? What did he see? He saw Adam and Chava together. They weren't wearing any clothes. They were naked. So he jumped on it, right? He devised a plan to kill them, to kill him first, and then go and get hurt. So that's the whole idea. The woman, so to speak, of the vessels rests on a person's head, right? The Shekhinah rests on a person's head. Every person in the world. Okay? So we cover it up because that's the proper thing to do, to cover up the Shekhinah. The Shekhinah should not be out in the open where the evil forces could come and take it. Okay? So that's even a man should cover his head. Okay? These small kippas and this and
What
that.
about if a man has
They're not doing
what
anything.
about
They're
if
not
a man
covering the
has
head.
A,
A toupee.
yeah.
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 So just think about it. What do you think? A man who has a toupee is a cover? It's
Yeah.
not a cover.
No?
No, just like a wig is not really a cover.
Everybody has a wig.
Yeah, but
That's
the
okay.
wigs, remember we
Okay.
talked about the wigs?
So
Alright.
if I cover my hair, I cannot put wig? No, I have to put a מטפחת?
Yeah.
איך אני הולך לעבודה ככה? תגיד את איך אני יחשבו שאני...
Wait, let me ask you a
זה מה
question.
שאני אמרתי.
Let me ask you guys a question. And
That's
good,
what I
good. This
said.
is being recorded. Okay. There's a congresswoman that covers her hair. She's in Congress. Is your job more important than Congress?
Hold on, with what?
Salam
She
alaikum.
covers her hair completely with the mitpachad, with the
She
cloth.
Muslim.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
He's right.
Is your job more important than a congresswoman? The government? The government, right? Come on. Okay, we play ourselves. We make a joke of
It's
ourselves.
just hard
Okay?
because everybody's used to seeing
Exactly.
it a certain way.
Everybody's used to
you know,
seeing it a
that's-
certain way, and once you
that's
get
my
used to it,
dilemma.
you get used to
This
it.
is what I was saying. It's my
Right?
dilemma.
There was a lady in Israel. She came out with an article. She was a late guys. There was a lady in Israel that came out with an article, and she said it's embarrassment to me, but it's true that this lady, this Muslim lady in Congress, I don't want to say her name, caused her to realize that she can go out in public like a real woman should. Okay,
נראה כמו...
but she wrote an article about it because she always thought she couldn't. She always thought the world wouldn't accept her.
In Lakewood and Monsey have a wig. No, לא טוב.
I don't care about everybody else.
That's
I'm
the
telling you
problem.
what it
They
needs to
don't
do.
know. They
Okay?
don't know.
Okay? At the time of Bet HaMikdash, the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed. Right? It was destroyed for sins. If you looked at the Jews, you saw them sinning. You're like, okay, you know what? Let me just be like those guys. They're also sinning.
So no wigs.
Because a lot
Okay.
of the wigs are made from
look like
hair that is
Fatma.
not
Yeah.
avodah zarah.
But if I buy a wig that is made of plastic.
Yeah. You're not going to want to wear a wig that's made of
No,
No,
plastic.
like you know, the hair is not
Exactly.
natural.
Also remember what we
Synthetic.
learned. Also remember what we learned. anything you're trying to draw people to make you to look at you, what are you doing? You're drawing evil to yourself.
Yes.
And you're
But
and
it's
you're and you're
beautiful
and you're
when
being
you're gorgeous.
and you're being exactly
You're
and you're
making
being
yourself look prettier.
and you're being prideful, right? So you're being
That was my
prideful.
argument.
Exactly.
It's a massive
It's a
What he
problem.
just told
Okay,
you.
guys, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you draw beauty to yourself, right? You're drawing the evil eye. That's one, and two, you're being prideful. You're like, look at me. You know, the wigs aren't made to make you look ugly to hide your beauty.
No.
Even the synthetic
They go in
ones, even.
Brooklyn with these wigs that have like these curls and blonde and
All right, guys.
Yes.
sprinkles in the hair.
Guys, let's finish the paragraph. Let's finish the paragraph.
Please.
Okay. So the body has to be clean. Wash your hands and feet, right, and face. Okay. Gam kol gufo leitim. Also, like, you know, wash your bodies from time to time. Okay. You know, nowadays we could do it daily. You know,
daily.
it's in our house, but back then they would do it just once a week. Okay. Kasher matzinu beilel hazaken. Okay. בשעה שנפטר מתלמידיו. Okay. Hillel, right, was the Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel, right? But before Bet Shammai and Bet Hillel was actually Hillel, the elder, and Shammai, right? So Hillel, when he said goodbye to his students, היה מהלך והולך עמם. Okay, he was walking with them. אמרו לו, להיכן אתה הולך? Where are you going? Okay. אמר להם לעשות מצווה, I'm going to do a mitzvah. Okay. אמרו לו, מה המצווה? What is this mitzvah that you're going to do? אמר להם, לרחוץ במרחץ. To go wash myself in the bathhouse.
It's a mitzvah.
אמרו לו, וכי זו מצווה? This is a mitzvah? Which one of the 613 mitzvot are there? Right? Like, which one exactly? You know, they learn Torah too. Like, which mitzvah are you going to do, right? Okay. אמר להם, הן, yes. ומה עיקרונין של מלכים שמעמידים אותם בבתי תרתיות ובבתי קרקסיות? Just like the idols, right? Like the statues of the different kings. They put them outside their circuses, right? Outside their stadiums. מי שממונה עליהם מורכם ושוטפם. The person who, you know, has to, you know, go around and wash them from time to time, right? והם מעלים לו מזונות. Right, they give him. He gets paid for this. He gets food for it, right? ולא עוד, אלא שהוא מתגדל עם גדולי מלכות, right? And he's considered someone who's, you know, up there in stature for cleaning these statues, okay? אני שנבראתי בצלם אלוקים ודמות אלוקים, me, that I was created in the image of God, right? And the likeness of God, right? על אחת כמה וכמה. Right, even more so. If the person watching the statues is getting praised, me, I'm like the statue of God,
נכון.
right? So when I clean myself, isn't that a mitzvah? Isn't that like a big thing, right? Because I'm representing of God. So if I'm representative of God and I look clean, I look well put together, right? That's called a kiddush Hashem. It's called, you know, you're sanctifying God's name. Okay? ועוד דכתיב, כל פועל אדוני למענהו. Everything God does is for himself, right? וכל הנזהר בדברים האלו לשם מצווה. Anybody who does these things for a mitzvah purpose, not because they like to be clean and they like to feel good, right? ולא כדי להתקשט ולהתגאות, and not just to charm themselves up and to be prideful, אף על פי שאלו דברים נראים כמו גאווה, they look like pride, right? The world's like, oh, look at it, he's prideful, right? He's clean, he's put together. Nope. כיוון שכוונתו לשם שמיים, because his intention is for God, right? יש בזה מצווה גדולה, it's a big mitzvah. Okay? So everything has to be in the right proportion, okay? You see, guys, like there's a lot of information in just the idea of pride, right? And thank God we have the books to learn exactly how we relate to every character traits. Okay, and again, everything is, when we do this, we fix the world, we draw down more light into the world, and then when we leave this place, we're gonna go get rewarded for the work that we're doing. Okay, it's not for now. Okay.
Amen.